Time to wrap it up this April 21st, 2015. We had a pretty good day trading today, all things considered. We came in this morning on the E-mini. We liked to sell. We said it was the easiest trade to see, failing to take out and hold 2105. And we got our trade right off the opening right here. We also correctly identified that the dynamic that would drive this would be long liquidation in pain number 3, and you can see that we got it, and that started the selling. So move, pause, software generates a trade. It's also a mean green trade. To retest that low, it comes out. We make another new low. No trade on either of these bars right here. You're looking to get short. Retest failure right here to retest that low. We make another new low. Another sell right here. Then the market stalls. We get a little head and shoulders pattern right here. So this is a legitimate trade, which was probably a scratch when it was all said and done. Another retest failure right here. Move, pause, move. Then we kind of die again. Very, very choppy. Another retest failure at the mode that gives us the day's low. We had a question mark on 95. We thought the buy was at 90 to 92 or 85 to 87 was buy 2. And so the assessment was really spot on. That was about as good as you can get coming in before the market opens. So what do we see for tomorrow? Higher high, higher low. If we don't crack this 85, 87 area the way this market is, it can come back. So top of the bracket is held. We've got an attractor down at 75. We've got a low volume number at 83. So if we can't get through this 83 level, the high volume numbers at 97, it's going to be pretty easy to be pulled back to 97. So this screen actually says you can be a buyer. F2 screen. It's definitely a B, so we have a conflict. And a conflict usually yields a trading range. A little higher, a little lower. But the market doesn't do much. So we've got this low at 85, then the low volume numbers down here in this 82 area. So once again, the 85 area, buy 1, give or take, buy 2 will be at 80. On the sell side, 95 to 97. Obviously, we got to get through. So if we were to close it right now at 92, we'd be trying to sell 94s to 96s. Then a 99 to 01. Tomorrow's news, FHFA housing index, plus 0.6. That's a pretty healthy number. That one can come in lower than forecast. Existing home sales, pretty big number, 5.04. This is the engine that drives the market. And then crude inventories. Last week we had a 1.6, but normally they're expecting crude at about 3.5. All the news last week was how fast the shale oil production was falling off. So news probably will not be that big of a factor tomorrow when it is all said and done. Okay, the note and the bond, we really had a good day trading those two. Came in wanting to sell 23s to 27s. And the high in the day session was 23. So we got pretty close. Lower high, lower low. On this screen, we are sellers. See if we can't bust today's low, and we're very, very close to it. But we've got a very, very choppy market. And there's pretty good support, 29.08, starting at 29.08. So we had it today, 8 to 12. Then we've got this volume down here, 28, 28, 29 even. So we bust 08, going to be pretty easy to get down to 28, 28 because there's volume right there. F1 screen says be a seller. F2 screen says we're a seller, so there's no conflict. So we're looking to be a seller in the ZN. The low volume number is right here at 4. We are pointed lower. I'm not sure that we can get a lot of selling, but I think we're going to get some. So we're going to play for 1 to 5. Going to lean against this low volume number down here for buy 1. Put a question mark at 9. A lot depends on what goes on in the E-mini later on, then 28, 20. On the sell side, 15 to 19, sell 1. And our 23 to 27 for sell 2. But it's pretty hard to expect a little much better than we had today. Really caught the market well. Had our setups off the software just the way we like them. So it was a good day of trading in the financials. ZB is really moving, and it's a great contract. I know a lot of people, God, I got to think in terms of 31.25, 15.62 and a half, 8s, 30 seconds, 64. So you nuts? But it's a good market, and it's a big market. It throw off a lot of money. I mean, that high up there is 64.24. That's $1,000 down to right there. From 24 down to 08's another 500. This is a big market. It can put a lot of money in your account. So don't forget it. It's there. Okay, the low volume numbers at 62.30, 63. We're currently at 14. So if we don't, this is rally a day, sell a day. It goes right back and forth. So we're going to put buy 1 at 5 to 9 because I think the market could rally back tomorrow after it tests support. And if support holds, it's not broken, I think it's going to come back. 19 to 23, sell 1. Then I'm going to jump it up to 31 to 03 for sell 2. But my guess is we're going to have a pretty hard time getting through 20 in Globex, so I want to lean against that. Okay, David has been with us for quite a bit, and he asked for me to do a little video today. I do, when I get done with the recording and the rest of that, if anybody is uncertain of where these numbers are coming from, stop me. I do it the same way every day. And I understand that it is for Globex getting started, but also you'd be surprised about 70% of the time our price points and our levels and our direction hold up for the day session the next day. And the reason for that is that in the financials in the stock market, we're the dog. We're not the tail. Okay, gold. Saudi Arabia has been asked to stand down against Yemen. They did so. They were pressured by the United States. The story is out that the United States is asking Saudi Arabia to take it easy on Iran. Now think about that for a minute. This is an existence problem for Saudi Arabia, and here we are because we are so far away from them. It takes a pretty sophisticated missile to get to us. They don't have it today, but they are going to have it. But Saudi Arabia is within reach, as is Israel, all those other places, of their current missiles. And we're asking these people to stand down so we can essentially give Iran the bomb. It's suicidal, but the United States still does carry some weight, and if anybody crosses this administration, they're after them in spades. I mean, they'll cut your throat if you stand up against them. So nobody's going to get in the way of what this administration wants to do. And I mean, I just see all this stuff going on, and it doesn't happen today, but you can just see. I wouldn't be surprised if we're already in the early stages of a world war right now. and they all start off getting fought by proxies and skirmishing, and you saw that in 37 in Europe. And the full-blown war started in 39 with the invasion of Poland, and then 41 we came into the war. So it was a period of four plus years. And I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the conditions, if somebody doesn't stop this insanity, well, yeah, I guess if you count the Ethiopian campaign, Jeff, and the groundwork by the election, and the Reichstag was taken over, you're probably right. But I'm talking about armies shooting at each other. So anyway, it's just not a very comfortable feeling. Looking at crude, and one of the it's the same problem that we have in trading when you look at it is, I know this market's going to turn. I just don't know when. And you can see all the conditions are right for a market to turn, and they always go farther or deeper than you think that they should go. So the issue of timing is always very, very difficult, but you can see the conditions that are there. And what that does for us as traders is we know what's coming, and when it finally does get here, and hopefully it doesn't, then we can take the appropriate steps. We've already pre-thought it, which is kind of cool. Okay, the crude broke off of the cessation of Saudi attacks on Yemen. Probably not that they were doing all that much anyway. So 56 and a quarter will be buy one. Make a lot of noise, but you don't take territory by bombing it. You destroy things, but you don't take it. You got to put boots on the ground. Troops. Got to have people manning the post. We're at 65, so the spill came from 57 and a quarter, so 57 and a quarter, sell one. Come back up and retest that London low in that area right there where the spill came from, and then 57.50 to 75. The economic wars have started with people snipping at each other, and it'll escalate when people start openly imposing tariffs and the likes, restricting trade. But I mean, right now, what's going on between Russia and Greece and the EU, what's going on between Russia, the Ukraine, and the EU, what's going on with the United States and Iran. We're getting ready to pump, depending on which article you read, $50 billion to $150 billion worth of cash into their systems. So you can make a pretty strong case that we're already attacking each other economically through the value of our currencies, etc. Back in the old days, Jeff, that was certainly true. He who had the most economic might and he who had the most production and the largest populations usually outlasted the other. But in the world of a nuclear exchange or something like that, the playing field is a hell of a lot different. And then, I mean, if you wanted to look at one country that might have the best chance of surviving, it'd be Russia, and it would be Siberia. Who the hell wants to live there? And Los Angeles, Miami, the desirable places in the world, wherever they might be. Paris might be a little tough to make it if we do get that low and go into a war. But it's just, there's just a sense of unease all around us in these days, and okay, where are we in the euro? Once again, we find ourselves 108 plus. 107 minus. So we want to sell 775s, 108. This is our sell area. And on the buy side, 107, 106.75. That's 1 and 2. But I think one of the things that's really neat about being a trader, you know, compare yourself to a guy that's running a large portfolio that can only be long stocks or bonds or junk bonds or whatever they happen to be. We've got a lot more flexibility. So we'll be able to handle whatever's thrown at us as long as the internet holds up. And we can thank Al Gore because it's really hard to take down. I'm glad that guy had the knowledge and the foresight to design a system that robust. Folks, I'll see you bright and early in the morning. You all have a great evening. I've got 2 more pieces of software to add hopefully this afternoon. I hope you have a great evening. It's going to make 70 this afternoon, so I'll enjoy my evening too. I'm out of here.